Peaky Blinders, the Birmingham gang we love to love even though we probably shouldn't. Here are the 10 business lessons to learn from Thomas Shelby and the rest of the Peaky Blinders. Slight spoilers ahead. Lesson number 1. Always have a plan. Throughout the show, we see Tommy get himself out of every tough corner and unfavorable situation, and that cannot simply be attributed to dumb luck, although a little bit of that is luck. We see, usually after the fact due to the amazing writing, Tommy's multi-level genius planning that really helps emphasize how inferior we all are. In the first episode, Tommy fixes a horse race, knowing Kimber would react negatively. We also see him start some conflict with the Lee family, knowing that Billy Kimber and the Lees are enemies, and is able to control Kimber's actions through that. His goal is not realized until 3 steps later when he finally takes over the territory. However, we see Tommy's knowledge of the way in which the world will react helps him accomplish his goal. He always knows how his actions will affect the market, his opponents, and even his own family. He can do this and plan accordingly because he has a very clear goal in mind, a very clear idea of what he wants. And then he's able to see everything that would need to happen to make that plan a reality. Many of us, to begin with, don't even have a goal. So, lesson, always have a goal and a clear idea of what it is you want. Then, start looking at all the hurdles and problems that you will need to overcome. And then, finally, start looking at any and every possible solution to break through, go around, or beat those problems. Next lesson, dress the heck up. I don't have a hat. But look at them, there's no way they don't succeed looking like that.
Oh, I don't pay for suits. My suits are on the house, while the house burns down.
Okay, actual lesson number 2. Should I keep it on? I feel like it'd be hypocritical if I take it off. I'll leave it on. Lesson number 2, know what your competitors want, need, and what their weaknesses are. Like in the previous example, he knew Kimber's needs and weaknesses and was able to use that information to his advantage. We see this again with Inspector Campbell and over throughout the show. You gotta know what it is they need because that's how you bend a negotiation to your benefit. This leads to the next lesson, negotiate. Some of my favorite scenes in the whole show are of Tommy negotiating. We see him use lesson 2 of knowing his enemy to his advantage in all of these scenes, and he also pushes the odds in his favor by planning beforehand. For example, in the season 2 finale, he knows Alfie's nature and the nature of their relationship and will not let himself be blindsided by the inevitable betrayal.
It says that here that 100% of your business goes to me.
So, he makes a plan, lesson 1, by knowing his enemy, lesson 2, in order to give himself more power in the negotiation and push the power in his direction. Next up, probably the most important thing, the key to his success, is clicking on that like button and subscribing to this channel. True story. Lesson number 4, play the orchestra, not the instrument. A keystone of a good leader, a good CEO, is their ability to look at the big picture and lead others with their vision. They are able to delegate and not have to drive to do everything themselves, but rather recognize that there is someone better than them at certain parts of the job. For example, in the movie Steve Jobs, we see Wozniak question Jobs about what it is he actually does.
What do you do?
I play the orchestra.
Tommy is a master at this. He plays to his team's strength. From using Arthur as a muscle,
First I need you back.
Paulie as the manager and CFO, he recognizes Ada's skill and Michael's ambition. This allows him to keep his eyes upward onto the bigger picture. This by itself, however, can lead to team dynamics absent of trust. That is why lesson 5, get your hands dirty, comes into play. Tommy, throughout the show, recognizes the importance of doing things himself, from doing menial tasks to taking out enemies.
Well, I was away fighting, remember? Where I learned some things, such as, you strike when your enemy is weak.
Not only does this keep him grounded, but it builds trust between the team, showing that he is not above doing the tasks being assigned to others. The family does call him out on this from time to time.
We're a couple of fucking toy soldiers. Do this, John. Do that, John. Kill your fucking sister, John!
And we see some of Tommy's flaws, from his never-ending ambition to the misalignment with the family's vision of the future. Lesson, let's call this 5.1, murder everyone in your way. Lesson 6, fake it till you make it. His sky-reaching ambition causes Tommy to always shoot up, even when he is technically unable to and technically not a legitimate business. He is a master at acting above his place in society. He does this by the way he dresses and carries himself, and he is able to keep the image of a cutthroat gangster to intimidate his competition.
Not a good idea to look at Thomas Shelby the wrong way.
Whilst at the same time keeping an image of a legitimate businessman towards the government. He is also the king of not showing weakness and mastering his emotions. Throughout the show, we see Tommy get backed into a million corners, get placed in situations that would make most people piss their pants, and through all this, he keeps his head, controls his emotions, and is able to strategically think himself out of the situation. Lesson number 7, know your limits and then fight to exceed them. Like I've been alluding to, Tommy is nothing if not ambitious. He has something within him that keeps him from being able to slow down and enjoy.
There's no rest for me in this world. Perhaps in the next.
Sometimes to his detriment. You gotta give it to him though, he truly has no limitations.
My mother died at the hands of your ambition. You didn't learn your limitations.
I have no limitations.
This lesson of knowing your limits is also shown by its absence.
That is God, and that of the Peaky Blinders.
His lack of awareness can cause him to bite too much, and he and his family suffer because of it. Lesson number 8, stand up for yourself. Conflict comes with the territory. Quite literally in the case of the Peaky Blinders. And for Tommy and his family, it is essential that they are respected and feared by their rivals to keep the peace and keep the place of power.
The only way to guarantee peace is by making the prospect of war seem hopeless.
There is, however, another side to this coin, which would be to show flexibility, to lose the ego contest. Tommy's unwillingness to apologize and risk looking weak when John attacked the son of a rival family results in a war between the families, which leads to the death of the man who John attacked, his father, and later also leads to some of their extended family coming from New York to avenge them, leading to John's death and a season-lasting conflict with the Italian mob. So, I don't know, keep a cool head, don't go around killing just random people, and if you do, apologize. Lesson, what is this, number 9. Lesson number 9, keep your family close. This show closely resembles another masterpiece in its emphasis on family.
You don't turn your back on family.
The Peaky Blinders are a close family, and it is together that they are strong and apart when they stumble. As far as family businesses goes, conflict is hard to avoid, and they don't. Which leads to the final lesson, keep your priorities straight. I don't think Tommy ever knew why he did what he did. He amassed massive wealth and power, which should afford him a level of comfort and ability to enjoy life. We see quite the opposite throughout.
Do I look like a man who wants a simple life, eh?
He is a truly broken man, going full speed to God knows where.
Break your heart.
Already broke.
He loses the respect and love of his wife and discards a relationship with his kids time and time again. He builds his wealth just to set it on fire. An arrow with no target, a man with an unknown mission. This, I believe, is a good reminder to have ambition, yes, but to know what it is for. I hope y'all enjoyed. Took a few notes maybe. Alright, subscribe for more content like this. Let me know what show to do in the future.